I'm here today to meet up with some of my favourite people in the industry, the husband and wife duo behind Honey & Co, Sarit and Itamar. I'm here at the new Honey & Co studio to have a little double dip. Guys, I'm going to call you the real OGs of crazy sexy food.
We're from the founding team.
You basically probably have stakes in it at this point, no?
Yeah.
I should probably
claim I don't have a flag. We should have a flag.
No, but actually, it's been so amazing to see this thing grow and grow and grow, and your success.
No, well,
your
thank
hard
you.
work.
But
it's very
to
beautiful.
sort of give it context, we met in 2019. I sort of trudged along with 2 microphones and a recorder. You came on the first season.
Yeah.
And I remember being so nervous because I had known Honey & Co as a restaurant that I loved, and I'd sort of put it up as this pedestal of like my favorite place in London. And finally I was sitting down with the people behind it. And you were the first actual kind of like chef restaurateurs that I'd ever sat down with. So I guess thank you.
Thank you
for taking a chance on me.
You were probably one of the first times we did those kind of things. There was a lot of firsts back in.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, so that's sort of 5.5-ish years. Obviously, a lot has happened.
5 years.
Yeah.
A lot has happened. Let's not dwell too much on all the madness, but also you guys have evolved so much. We're actually sitting in Honey & Co studio.
Yes.
Tell us about Honey & Co studio, because my mouth like dropped open when I walked in here. It's beautiful.
It's quite a fun space.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like everything that we do has a, people always say, oh, your business plan, and that's like,
no
plan. We never have a plan for more than 48 hours.
Life is made up of so many things, and we forget that. And the more years we're in this industry where everything revolves around food and about how do you make kind of bigger restaurants, more efficient restaurants? How do you train staff and everything like that? But kind of parallel, we also started like picking up ceramics and doing like other things.
Well, I was going to say,
right?
We need to talk about this.
Yes.
So I've just been told that all the ceramics in the restaurant,
all the coffee cups,
and you guys have made with your own hands.
So
I've made all of them.
I mean, I'm just like,
but this became
I'm
like a bit of a
flabbergasted.
lockdown obsession and a lot of time, and that we never had before. But my point is that you find hobbies and you find that life is about everything, and joy comes from like different things, and it can come from going to Pilates or to yoga, and it can come from like making a pot, and it can come from making a sketch, and it can also come from cooking like a really nice meal, or with sharing it with friends, or even just talking to a producer. There's like a whole world, and what we wanted to do is kind of,
we said this is the home for it.
Give that a bit more credit, and not just always be about food, but be about.
So it's a versatile space then.
Yes.
So because I assume you're hosting events, you're doing classes.
Yeah,
there's ceramics classes. There's
sketching. There's a sound bath. There's a bit of kimchi making, or makers, like a gin maker the gin that we use in the restaurant. He's going to come and talk about the process and taste some gins and stuff like that. The idea is like everything that can be fun for someone, and it doesn't have to be fun for everyone. It just has to like have its audience and its kind of joy.
But I think it's also nice to kind of step away sometimes from real life. Like a lot of people step away from real life and go into the kitchen and go bake or whatever. And obviously that you guys have created a business and a life from that. So you need to find another outlet to kind of step away from your day to day. And I guess something like this or life drawing or whatever it is.
But I think it's really important as well. No matter how much you love your job, you need to walk away for it, and you need to find something else, even just to feed your job, just to feed your. It's so important, and we so often forget it.
And I think what is even more important is being really at something and learning something. Honestly, it's so true, because we forget that it's really good. Because you start to think, oh yeah, I can do this. This is fine. I'm really good at doing a service. I can refer a dinner party. I don't care. But then you come and you try and throw on a wheel for the first time, and the whole thing looks like a pancake. Not that you intend it to look like a pancake. And you're like, oh, I'm really bad at this. And it would be really good for someone to teach me. And you kind of, it's a whole...
Well, it's learning a new skill. Yeah. I think that's so, I'm very big on, at every stage in my life, I'm always like, I've got to go do something that challenges me.
Yeah.
That's why
it's really
got into the
important.
food world at 34. I was a photographer for 12 years before that. I was like, okay, we're done now. What's next? You know, I have to ask, the title of this show is Double Dipping. What are your thoughts on double dipping?
In the sea, triple. I don't think that's what she means. In the sea, it's like my brother calls me a tea bag. He has to like, when I go to Greece, they have to like dip me in the water. But I know that's not what you're talking about.
Listen.
It's your own interpretation.
Yeah, you can go for it. If it's people that I know, and I'm not so fussed.
Okay.
I'm not so fussed.
But definitely between us,
But also like,
no, I mean, we believe in like meze and sharing and like.
yeah,
Well, it's a cultural thing, I think, as
It
well.
is.
Like, I feel like we are from similar backgrounds where we were sort of raised to share food and dip, and you're not kind of turning, I don't always turn, the piece of bread around. It's the,
I honestly don't see the problem, but also that is really the culture we come from. You put like a plate of hummus, everyone rips a bit of bread, but you do tend to throw that bread in your mouth. Like you wouldn't lick the bread and then lick.
But some people would bite. Some people would bite a bit of the bread and then go again. And some people would have a problem with that.
I know.
But I think I'm this, like both of you. I'm just like, it depends who I'm with.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think my threshold is a lot lower than most people. Like if I know the people, or even if I know them just slightly, I'm like, whatever, like do
We can share
what
germs.
you do, like whatever, I'm not. And I think it's probably like, I think we're sort of, yeah, I don't know. I'm not so fussed.
I'm not so fussed. I'm the same. Like also, there's like this thing of ice creams that if a few friends are taking like a different ice cream and you want to taste, you don't take a new spoon with everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
And
So what
I
do you
don't
do?
I don't see a problem
okay.
with that. But some people
No.
find that really terrible. If you're like, eating from and tasting everyone's flavor, it's the same teaspoon. So there's like a whole world of some things are suddenly okay and some things aren't. To me, it's fine. Germs are good.
God, I haven't thought about the ice cream one.
Yeah, but you wouldn't lick someone else's.
I wouldn't lick someone
No,
else's
I wouldn't
ice
lick
cream.
it.
This is,
I would not lick someone else's
Okay.
ice cream. I would.
you're talking
not,
about the little spoons,
Ain't
yeah?
that
Not the little. I would not go and go like, no. That I wouldn't do. But I would definitely reuse a spoon on different ones, and I wouldn't mind someone else doing
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm actually
So maybe
the
I'm
same.
in the same-
Yeah.
Why
Well, it's
is-
now
why
become
is,
philosophical.
But then why is that okay? And
Why
dipping
is
bread
ice
in a
cream
hummus and
different?
eating it.
I don't know. I mean, she brought it up. I don't know.
I'm just saying, it's like a weird one. You don't consider it the same
Yeah.
thing. And
I wonder if the
wouldn't do
germs are
soup so
killed
much.
from the temperature of the ice cream.
If anything, the hot ones would. But with soup, I wouldn't like stick my soup in
I love
someone's
your
mouth and
attempt to
then
bring
stick it in
science
another
into
one.
this. I think there's no.
I think we need to
Science
develop this
involved.
conversation a little
I
more.
think we potentially like ice cream enough to forgive germs.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Ice cream has a bigger pull than hummus. You've heard it here first.
Don't admit to
mean,
that.
speaking
You just ruined our entire career by saying that
no,
ice cream is
literally.
bad.
selling ice cream as well.
We're just about to be interrupted in the most perfect way, which is with the infamous Honey and Co cheesecake. We're going to come on to this in a second. We are going to talk about this.
Like this, people double dip.
Yeah, we're double dipping the cheesecake.
No, but also like every cut. I don't think anyone doesn't double dip. Nobody cuts the cake in half and takes it onto their plate.
No.
And they don't use
You
a
just
new
ask
fork.
for 4 spoons and
So
you
I'm
go
saying
for
desserts have a different rule
it.
entirely.
This is what I'm saying. So why does someone have an issue sharing hummus?
It's a really interesting. I don't,
Yeah.
but it's a really
I
interesting
think we
question.
started a movement.
What's your stance on it? Double dipping?
My stance, I think it depends on who I'm with.
Yeah.
If I'm with family or friends or whatever, we are sharing.
We're getting messy.
It's fine. Yeah, we're going to get messy. It's going to be everywhere. If it was, let's say I was having like a business meeting or going for a lunch, like I think I don't know you enough.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
if it's a spitter.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Just saying. There's some people you don't want to eat their food.
There we
I feel
go.
like she has
Yeah.
someone specific
I think
in
she
mind.
does. I
it's
think
like,
we need a
you know
whole
who
separate
you are,
episode
you
just
know
on
what
it.
you've
Yeah.
done.
She's
We
looking
are
down
not
the
doing
camera.
that.
Yeah, and it's you. You know who you are.
But also, I mean, and this very seamlessly brings me on to like my next question, which is that
Are you a spitter?
are you a spitter? That's for the other conversation we're having past 9 p.m. at night. You guys obviously do share food, not just because you are business partners, but for anyone who's been living under a rock, you are also husband and wife. And this is, I think, why I've always been drawn to you both, because I grew up with parents who work together. I work with my husband. It's a very interesting dynamic that I don't think a lot of people can do well. And it comes with pros and cons. How do you find working with each other? And I guess the main question is, what annoys you about each other?
Okay, how long have
he's
you got?
ready.
How long have you got?
He's got a list from this morning. But I mean, we've always worked together. So I don't know that we kind of have a perception. We met in the kitchen, and pretty much every job we've done since has been in the same
But also, we've
places.
always worked well together.
And we've always worked well together, which is potentially how our relationship actually kind of developed into a relationship as well, because we kind of get on. And I think from that point of view, I don't think that's ever been the issue. Yes, we have plenty of arguments, don't get me wrong, and we fight about stuff, but first of all, it pushes us further because it's a bit like the kind of challenge of learning a new thing. Also, learning to communicate through people having very different opinions pushes you to the next.
I'm just starting to look at my husband at this point in time.
but it's good to have like a counter. Like otherwise, if you're surrounded by essayers, you don't actually progress to anywhere in life. You kind of, because everyone
it
is
would
just.
be nice to have one person that says yes.
Like, come on. I mean, we've definitely surrounded ourselves with a lot of naysayers.
Yeah.
But not just ourselves, also our team. That we have a lot of like strong opinionated people.
All of our company is like very fierce.
Love that.
Women and very sort of soft, jolly men. I don't know how this happened.
My point is we do fight quite a lot, but we try from the fight to come up with something that actually we feel that if we've both agreed on it or we've both kind of come to a good place with it, then maybe that's a better combination.
Yeah. But actually, from experience, we know that the stuff that we don't agree on, we're not going to agree on, and it's probably best to put it to one side. But the stuff that we agree on,
we usually agree on immediately. Like,
we're not going to, like, neither one of us is ever going to convince the other anything. Never. It's not going to happen. We're not going to.
We might wear them down, but we don't change the mind.
But if we wear them down, it's not the same, and we stop trying.
Ultimately, you're both still, you're both still fighting for the same result. You both, essentially, you're still wanting to win. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, you work in the same business. Like, there's a goal.
Yes, the joint goal of like successful, happy, good working environments that make some money for us. And that stand by everything we believe in.
What made money for us?
Don't get me started. There ain't no money.
That's a different, you're still alive. You're not living in the street. Yeah, fine. So the end goal is always the same for both of us. And that's kind of the main driving force. We have different ways to get there. Everyone has different ways to get there. But I also think as a company, it allows us to allow different ways, if that makes sense. Because there's like a million ways you can boil an egg, and it's okay as long as the egg at the end is a nice boiled egg that you want to eat. That's the most important thing.
Let's talk about the food, because I'm sort of sitting in front of some beautiful delicacies here. I mean, when I discovered Honey & Co., I discovered it through your big breakfast, which is this sort of epic meze and just a beautiful selection of sweet, savoury, bits and pieces, hummus, some salad, there was labneh in there, and then you sort of choose this main dish. It was, for me, actually, at the time, correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't feel like there was anything like that in London at the time that was also really celebrating the different flavors and tastes of sort of the Middle East in general. Like, you were taking influences from so many different countries, and I loved that, being part Iranian and sort of coming from the upbringing that I was coming from. But you're also very well known for these beautiful, the beautiful bakes.
I mean, some of those definitely joined a bit later as the space grew, because you need more space to do these things. So there's a Fitzrovia bun.
That's it, the Fitzrovia bun.
Sour cherries and pistachios and machleb. And then when we opened here, we did a Bloomsbury bun, which is a orange blossom and salted almonds.
That's a bit
kind
of me.
Version.
It's, I'm with you.
But we do now we have a bit more space and we have the bakery. We can play around a lot more with that. Originally, there was a lot less space for that. But
I think this is sort of one of your iconic, if not the iconic dish. Can you explain to everyone what this is?
It's a kind of deconstructed cheesecake, really. It's a very kind of sweet, salty topping of feta, cream cheese, salted almonds, lots of honey on a kadayif base, which is a really kind of crunchy, buttery, sugary pastry. And it's kind of inspired by growing up eating like street food. There's knafe, which is like a
Which has
hot
now
dish.
become
Now, but you know, like
very
what you were saying before, like
famous.
when we opened 12 years ago, I really don't think there was as much knowledge of this kind of food at all. A lot of these places didn't exist yet, or it was just starting to come out. So obviously there was the Ottolenghi effect happening already, but it was less about Middle East and it was more about fruit and vibrant, colors and textures and stuff. And then what we wanted to do was kind of really embrace these places we came from or felt that we were very passionate about in terms of the food, and this kind of use of like salty cheeses and lots of honey and lots of nuts and you were saying in the breakfast, like just trying to celebrate this whole region. It's an amazing region with so many different flavors, and this aspect of where we come from, which is a country of immigrants in essence, people that have come from everywhere. We grew up eating all these like kind of crazy flavors, and all we wanted to do is like kind of embrace that, showcase the fun of that, and hopefully get people to enjoy something that we were eating at home at the time. We kind of thought, let's just see what this does.
No, totally. And like even actually something with like knafe, for example, now at the moment, as we speak in 2025, has become like the buzzword, because I would say, for social media, for its blessing and its curse, there is now a thing called the Dubai viral chocolate that uses it. And now suddenly people who I'm friends with who have never heard this word before in their lives are like, what's this thing? It's amazing. It's like this crispy vermicelli. And I'm like, okay, you do realize I've been eating this since I was like in the womb. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, obviously it's great that the things that are just the norm to certain people are now becoming commercially, I guess, known. That, I guess, works in your favor in a way, no?
Yes. I mean, it's good. It's always good for people to know more about food.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are sort of, I don't think, you should eat this or you should eat that. This is better than this. We never were those people, but we want to bring something that is A, of good quality, B, brings joy, C, a little bit of us.
Yeah.
And this is, this is what we always did. This is what we're still doing. And the more people do it, the better we all are for it. We're not sort of, we're not evangelical or about this or that. We're just like, you bring this, you bring that. It's all good. Let's share it. Yeah.
It is all good until Dubai chocolate kills prices of pistachios and we can't order pistachios.
Going up by a third.
It's
Have
like
you
so
attempted
crazy
to try and make the chocolate?
No, because it's not my thing. Like I think it's too sweet. I think it's too much. It's not what this is not what the food is about, actually. Like I know it's become viral and it's really nice. The trend is viral, it's good. But it's not like, I think in 2 years' time, where's that going to be?
Even though your chocolate pistachio cookies, if you add some kadaif to it, it's not going to be bad.
So basically, actually, she was the original. You were doing it way before TikTok.
No, I mean,
I'm the OG.
Chocolate and pistachios is a strong proposition.
But I've tasted one and I thought it was quite sweet, personally. And
Have you heard about the process of how you order it?
No.
So it's like very specific. It's only on delivery. They have no bricks and mortar.
Oh, really?
And you can only order it at 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. in the afternoon on delivery. So I was like, do I do it? Do I not? It's so expensive. And I was like, am I justifying this? Oh, I'll put it through as a business expense. I order it. It's so heavy. And I'm not a big sweet tooth, but if I'm going to do chocolate, I usually do like a dark chocolate. Like I don't like it too sweet. I eat it, and because it was so warm, I actually was like, oh, it's nice. I ended up taking it back to London because obviously I know he was going to want to try it, and I kept it in the fridge. And then I ate it in London, and I was like, this is amazing.
In the fridge?
Yeah, it was better when it was a bit more like solidified. But I agree, it's very, very sweet.
I don't know. I didn't taste the original. I've tasted like something.
Do you know there's so many newsagents around now who are selling them? And I tried one because I'm in Shepherd's Bush, which is a huge Middle Eastern community. They're selling them all in the nut shops and everything, all the fake ones. I got one the other day. If you did a blind test, you would not know the difference.
Really?
So whatever you can buy out here, it's exactly the same.
Just a friend bought one for dinner and we tasted it. You really loved it. For me, it's too sweet.
It is very sweet. Like, it's not for...
But also, like, I'm a bit of a purist. Chocolate should be chocolate to me.
Yeah.
No. Or I'm happy with desserts or these kind of things.
Absolutely.
But like, chocolate should be chocolate.
Speaking of sort of, wonderful ingredients, what are some of your sort of kitchen cupboard staples? What do you always have in your kitchen without a doubt?
Tahini.
Yeah.
We always have tahini. We always have yogurt,
Tahini, yogurt, lemons,
cucumbers, olives.
lots of olives.
Yeah.
Well, you can make a pretty good meal out of all that.
Yeah, and eggs. This is kind of like, this is what we live on at
Yeah.
home. It's kind of like either eggs or tin tuna.
weather
Tahini or yogurts, olives, always olives.
Things that have
and-
really long shelf lives because
Yeah.
we never know. We can have a whole week where we haven't had a chance to eat one single thing at home, and we can have weeks where we're eating every meal at home.
because we need to try recipes.
Yes, that's the only time we cook.
So we're now speaking, you've got 4 cookbooks out.
Yes.
Yes.
Any others
we
on the
just had
horizon?
it. We've just
Maybe.
handed our 5th
Yeah.
one in.
Ooh,
Maybe there's another one.
okay, very
Yeah,
exciting. Are we allowed to talk about it? Or
No,
will that
but
be...
we've-
Nope.
Not yet, but we
You've got to
just
get back
handed
on the
it in.
podcast again to talk about it.
Yeah.
Not
If you
yet.
allow us.
Okay, so we've got things brewing.
Yeah.
Okay, very
It
exciting.
will be an exciting new book. That's fine. We're shooting
Fun,
it. Fun,
not fine, fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun and fine. We're shooting it at the end of June. So that should be exciting. And then maybe there'll be a bit more information about it. And we have this beautiful studio, which a lot of events and a lot of fun things and a lot of, talks and beautiful things. And then, just like fine tuning the restaurants really was still like so much that can happen and change in the restaurant world.
Yeah.
And it's an ever evolving.
It's a lot of moving parts, and it's
And we
doesn't
kind of
stop
want to
moving.
stick with we don't want to completely reinvent ourselves, but also things change, people's appetites change. And, we find people because of the kind of financial aspects, but also maybe because of health, people eat maybe a bit less, they're spending less. So it's about matching the food to what people want and kind of, there's so much that ever changes in this world. It's interesting.
Yeah.
There's one thing I do need to talk to you about.
Yes.
I
I'm scared.
listened back onto the original podcast episode.
I'm going to do it today.
Please, it's actually lovely. But there was something that you said that we need to talk about. So I'm not sure if you guys know, but I love crisps. And I remember I asked
don't
all the
start him.
I asked all the
I'm scared now. I know
podcast
exactly what she's
what their
like.
favorite flavor of crisps are. You gave me an answer. She did not, because she told me that she doesn't like crisps.
I like Doritos.
Well, that's a crisp.
It's not a crisp.
I mean, it's a corn chip.
It's a corn chip. Different
what-
worlds.
okay, but what
I
flavor-
still would not. I would never just buy a bag of crisps.
Really?
And if if there's no Doritos, it's like a commercial.
Wow.
There's no other corn chips.
That's his sponsor.
Yeah, there we go.
No, but you can name check. You can name check.
We can name check. We're
You can
fine.
say, you can profess your love. Fine.
But I profess my love to all corn chips.
Yeah.
Mostly specific blue
That's
ones.
a
Yeah.
lie.
Oh, really?
That's a
So you like the
lie.
They have to be
Orange. Wow.
orange blue ones
I
for
don't
me
know,
to
I feel
enjoy
That's a
them.
lie. If I get to the little ones,
I mean, I prefer.
you know what they call Moritos or something like that. Moritos.
No, but I'd still have that to potato chips. I'd never asked you
no.
to
So
buy
you
me.
have an
I've
issue with the
never
potato
asked you.
chip.
It's not that I have an issue. I just don't see the necessity for it. Okay.
You don't,
But also, I would almost hardly ever just order chips. Yeah. Actual chips as well, not potatoes.
Oh, so you just
Like
don't
French
really
fries.
like a fried potato, really?
Yeah.
I love potatoes, but I don't need them fried.
Interesting.
Listen.
Is your answer still the same?
Uh,
Your answer 5 years
I know,
ago
I know
was
exactly.
It was,
So, it was
Pringles.
no,
It was
no.
Pringles.
Pringles, sour cream and chives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
still the same for
I would honestly if it could be my last meal on earth.
Pringles would be the last thing I would order.
Love Pringles
You create
so much.
all this beautiful food and you're ending with a Pringle.
Pringles.
I would not have a Pringle.
But also a night, to answer your previous question, maybe every 3 months we'd be like, okay, can we have Doritos for dinner tonight?
He's come onto the Doritos train now. He says to me, I have a lack of Doritin in my blood. Let's have Doritos for
What is
dinner.
this become an enzyme now? It's a hormone.
Yeah, but then
he's lacking it.
I'll bring the Doritos and I'll make the avocado and maybe some tomatoes, whatever.
Okay.
And that's a dinner. But Pringles will never be a dinner.
Okay.
But Doritos can be.
But you still have claimed it as your last meal on earth.
I can, yeah. I'll be very happy. It's so good. And actually, I'm kind of like, even when I have Pringles, I'm like, why do I bother cooking? Like the perfect thing.
Why did I start Honey and Co in the first
something
place?
so perfect already exists? And I feel the same every time I go to Nando's.
See,
And I'm not ashamed.
I love Nando's.
I'm coming out of the closet.
I do that.
This is my coming out.
I love
You've been
Nando's.
out of that closet for so
A
long.
long time.
Like, I'm sorry. We basically built Honey and Smoke on Nando's in Brixton because we would work so hard.
So this
and
was
then
like
on the
before
way home,
the apps. I had the phone number for Nando's Brixton on my phone.
Yes,
I would
you would
call them
call
on
them?
Warren Street, get off in Brixton, on the way collect my
What's your order?
a sunset burger.
Yeah.
Sarit has the
half chicken, lemon herbs, because I'm a
lemon
scaredy,
herb.
like,
Yeah.
Chips and corn, obviously,
Yeah.
because I'm not insane. And what I love about Nando's, I would call, they would never make the chips for me in advance. When I'm there, they make the chips.
Oh, they
and
knew
pack
you.
it
You
for-
were a regular.
No, they would do it for everyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is their company policy.
we don't eat like that anymore. We're older, we get more like heartburn as you get older, and we have less of junk food.
No.
But
Hey,
love that.
hey,
Passion
Nando's
stays.
is not junk food.
What?
No.
I don't consider Nando's junk
No.
food.
chips,
No.
anything
Chips,
fried.
yeah, chips. Yeah.
Nando's is a restaurant.
Yes, but the chips are chips. Be them with fish and chips in a Nando's.
I'm going to
or
leave
in
you
a bag
guys.
of
I'm going to leave you
crisps.
guys
Yeah,
to
you
fight
can
this
have
one up
nacho
afterwards.
peas.
I'm going to finish with a final question.
Yes, sorry.
We have come together again. We have double dipped together.
Double dip?
So the question that I have for each of you is,
Wait, will you triple dip with us when the book comes out? Will we have it on?
darling,
can we
I
have
will
it-
triple dip, quadruple dip, whatever
All
you
the
want.
dips,
I will.
all
I will
the
just
dips.
dip. It's
Yeah.
fine. If you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, this is for each of you. Who would it be?
Know each other?
God, you're such a romantic.
No, I'm asking.
We enjoy
love
each other's
it.
company.
I actually. How long have you been together for?
21 years.
Maybe two if once we started kind of actually dating.
Yeah.
A while.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
That's the-
definitely. I
that's-
definitely.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much fun. Like, we go on holiday and we just think, this is fun. It's nice, no?
You guys.
Why?
Can
You
we
don't
choose
no.
someone else?
Someone else? Okay, I can choose.
someone
It could be anyone. It could be someone well known. It could be not well known.
Do they have to be interesting, or just you want to just
It's,
sit
it's
there and
whoever
stare at
you
them?
would love to go and double dip with again.
Because, like, I'd like to sit across at Beyonce in a, like, dinner.
A, she doesn't eat.
No,
for
exactly.
sure,
I wouldn't want to eat, like,
100%.
opposite her,
So
because
she's
I would
gonna
be like,
looking at you judgmentally. She's
I
like,
haven't eaten
"You
in
gonna eat
20
that?"
years. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not touching your hummus.
So actually,
gonna
that's
be
pretty
like
good. Then
saying-
she's not going to eat the food.
Yeah. She'll be like, Said, can you handle this? I don't think you can handle this.
Oh my god! I think that's the answer.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think that's it. We can't move further from this.
No, I don't think you can handle this.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Guys, honestly, it's always a pleasure every time I see you. It's a greater pleasure to be sitting down with you again.
Yes.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for just creating wonderful food, for putting Honey and Co on the map. And I hope that we can sit down in another 5 years
Yeah.
and see where we're all
Yeah,
at.
and thank you for having us again. It's such
Always,
a treat.
always.
And
I love
it's
you
been
guys.
such a joy watching your journey.
Thank you. Means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Until next
Go
time.
team! Yay! Honey and Co forever.
I like
You
these
guys
little
are
mics.
actually hilarious.
We have